Good day, beautiful people. I am the Travel Lord here to do my self-care check-in. I am late. I haven't posted for weeks 8, 9, and 10. So I just wanted to give you guys just a little overview of what the last 3 weeks have been like far as self-care. One of the driving forces with my self-care that makes me fulfilled is spending quality time with myself, doing the things that I like to do, which would be going out to eat, hanging out with myself, rather if I'm just in my room listening to some music, getting in my thoughts, journaling, self-reflecting. The last 3 weeks, those things really haven't took precedent. Motherhood played a major role. My daughter is towards the end of her first year's track, and so been doing a lot of traveling with her and her meets, getting her prepared for the Junior Olympics that's at the end of this month. They've been in swimming lessons, and then outside of the swimming lessons, like still going to the pool so they can work on their skills, trying to maintain the house. So in the midst of all of that, like I really haven't had time to focus on me per se and do the things that makes me feel good. I have had an opportunity to get some new braids in. I managed a few weeks ago to go get a fill-in, get a pedicure. So the physical aspect of it, as far as like the pampering and the self-care hygiene, like I maintain those. I don't find it as a self-care priority. I do it because I just don't like to have a messy head. And I try to keep my nails up because I just feel like my hands look better with my nails done. But as far as just the things that I enjoy, just spending time with myself, haven't really had a chance to do that. I have been able to connect with other friends and family to just have some adult time. So I do find pleasure and enjoyment with doing those things. And I have had the opportunity to do that. So although I haven't had much me time, I've still had some very enjoyable moments. Even with the kids, we went to Orlando this past weekend for the national championship, and my daughter came in fourth place in the race walk. With that, we ended up getting a room, and we was getting in the pool and just spending time with them, hanging out with them. So the last 3 weeks have been fulfilling overall. I've still been getting my physical self-care in. That consists of walks. I try to do at least 2 miles a day when we go to track practice, riding my bike, doing my yoga at home yoga stretches. I know for the last 2 weeks I haven't been to my yoga sessions, which I'm like so upset about that. I didn't want to burden other people with watching my kids while I do go do my yoga. That's one of the things that I don't want to say I really need to work on, but I don't like to be an inconvenience to other people, although I know they'll say yes, but I kind of feel like it can be a bit much when you're constantly asking somebody to look after your kids so you can go do something that you enjoy. So, and my older son, he was out in the truck with my husband, so that's usually who I leave the kids with, so I can go do some things with myself, but he wasn't here. So I haven't been able to go to yoga, which I really do miss, but I have been doing my at-home yoga stretches. I am also incorporating weights into my workouts because in January, I stepped on the scale and I was 141 pounds. And I was a bit alarmed because I haven't ever weighed that much outside of pregnancy. So that was a bit much for me. So with the physical exercises, with the walking, the bike riding, which I believe that started back in maybe March, I've lost 21 pounds. The week of the 4th of July, going into the 4th of July, I went and stepped on another public scale and I was 120 pounds and I was like, oh my God, like I've really lost weight. My husband told me that I looked like I had to slim down. And I was like, child, whatever. And I went and got on the scale and I did. So I was like, okay, I lost some weight, but I would like to be more toned. So I am incorporating weights into some type of form of a workout routine. We'll see what that looks like. But the physical side has been there. Spiritually, I'm still dedicated to showing gratitude to God when I wake up in the morning, thanking Him for allowing me and my family to be here yet another day. Being more engaged in the Word and just spending more time with God, praying, meditating, talking to Him a lot more than I had been in the past. So that's definitely something that I have seen significant improvement with. Mentally, I feel like there's always room for improvement with my mental. Haven't been journaling as much as I probably would like to. Just not gonna say I didn't have time. I just wasn't motivated. Like when I do have probably time to journal, like I just don't want to do nothing but just probably just lay there and probably go to sleep or enjoy a movie or something like that. Like this week, I literally gave myself a lazy day after we came back from Orlando that Friday. I believe it was that Saturday. Like I made it my business not to do anything. I laid on the sofa, I had my snacks, my cover, and I watched a couple movies of Star Wars. Just took my mind away from the household responsibilities. Because of course there was things to do around the house. There was still things to do with the kids, and I just made it a purpose not to do anything. And I feel like, it's okay to have those moments to say I'm not mommying, but I'm not like fully mommying today. Like my kids are fairly old enough that if they're hungry, they can go in there and find some food. There's leftovers. They have entertainment. And it's okay to say, like mommy is off duty. I'm not doing household responsibilities because we have to take time to just woosah. And that was one of those moments. It wasn't even about having me time or spending time alone. It was just like just not doing nothing. Like for me, I feel like I'm constantly going from the moment I wake up until the end of the night. It's usually when that time's coming, and at night I'm self-reflecting mentally about what took place that day, how I responded in that moment, what I could have done, being that I know better. When I know better, you should do better. And just reflecting on moments like that, or even when things did go well, or I handled myself in a more pleasant way. Just reflecting on those moments. There have been times when my emotions did get the best of me. And those was the moments that I was like, I can't believe that I did that. And in some cases, I did have to go back and apologize the way that I reacted or responded to different situations. But, we're all human. If you're intentionally trying to do better and self-reflect and self-awareness, then you know that there will be hiccups here and there. And it's just acknowledging them and trying to do better the next go around. I haven't been to a therapy session. I know in the last 3 weeks, so probably in about maybe a good month. I'm in a space with that, trying to decide on what direction, what I want to do with that, because I know that I definitely need to continue therapy. I know that I still need that outlet when life becomes overwhelming, when unexpected situations happen, that I have that outlet that I can turn to and get the best professional assistance that I can. And I just want to make sure that whomever it is that I am seeking therapy counsel to, that we're both on the same page about what my needs are and making sure those needs get addressed. So that is on my goal list for this week, which is figuring out that path and moving more into more therapy sessions. Yeah, that's kind of what the last 3 weeks have been like. I am, as I'm moving into my new week of 11, I am going back to my assessments to see where have I progressed or lacked from the first assessment, and use those areas to focus more on. Like, I do know that in some areas, like, I've really excelled in those, and then there are some areas that I haven't put that much attention into or more focus. So I would definitely love to focus on those areas that I've been lacking in, because overall self-care is all four of those: your mental, your physical, your spiritual, and your emotional. And I feel like my spiritual is intact, my physical is phenomenal. Like, I've never been a physical fitness or physical awareness type of person, and since maybe March, before I even started this self-care journey, like, I've was very committed to that, and that's something that I have continued to be committed to. But the mental and the emotional are probably two of the areas that I would say I lack the most, as far as like really managing my triggering moments, not allowing my emotions to get the best of me, not responding emotionally. But those are definitely the things that I need to put more effort and attention into, which is why I really need to get more grounded in therapy, because therapy will help me manage those areas. So that's kind of what that's been looking like. I do apologize for not being consistent, and consistency is key. So I am holding myself accountable for not being consistent with my weekly check-ins. But I am here now. I am checking in and following up with you guys. I am still in my self-care workbook for Black women. Been writing and journaling, and I didn't even realize, because at first I was doing all of this like in a personal journal and just documenting, but on the weekly, like, there's different prompts for your weekly check-in that I wasn't really that focused on. And so when I go back and look, I'm like, wow, like, yeah. So like, for week 10, what did you do for others this week? And initially I was like, I think I did nothing for others. And then as I went to like just writing out like what was going on, like, I was like, outside of my family, my immediate family, I don't really think I've done nothing for others. And then that moment I was like, oh yeah, I remember I did go buy my sister and my brother-in-law lunch when I went to go pick up the kids some food. Oh yeah, I did do something. Oh yeah, I did listen to somebody else that has a podcast that they're eventually going to lunch, and they wanted to get my input and my feedback, and I was able to give them some advice, and they found it very helpful. So I was like, okay, so I was doing things. So it's like so much stuff goes on throughout the day that by the end of the week you really forget the little things. And this weekly check-in really did allow me to go back and pinpoint those small moments that I probably would have continued to overlook. So I have found very good things about doing these weekly check-ins and this weekly planner um, that allows me to stay focused on what my goal is, which is to be a better person each week, not just for myself, but for my family, for my friends, and those that I connect with. So this is a catch up for weeks 8, 9, and 10, and I hope to have a more current video for week 11 and not a extended week video as this one is. So until next time.